They might need some help. I don't know, they don't really need too much help. They just need a little bit more activity, a little bit more cohesion. Alright, the final update. We have a rip from Wazi in the chat. He had a few more seconds to go, it turned out, because I didn't update until 10 seconds after. 17 seconds extra time. And week 1 is over. So, some special things are going to be filled in manually, such as Sanic. We'll see that when we go through the levels. And the task will, I guess it'll be the last thing we do because it's on the final level. So. I think that's all of them. So let's check out the leaderboard a little bit. Like I said, Neon Enthusiasts scored 1 more point on the leaderboards, and won a fair amount more to wagers, thanks to you know, some good wager placement, really helping out their teammates with wagers. Custom Custodians also did really well with that. Z Team and V Ceilings didn't score as many points with it, but could do a little bit better. They just got to encourage each other a little bit more. But Neon Enthusiasts proving why, in my opinion, they are the top seed here. You know, once they got everybody on board, they do. It does seem like they've got the strongest team over there. But being the team to beat puts a target on your back. So.
Indeed.
But it's not by much. It's not like the top seed is that far ahead of everyone else. But they were consistently a little bit better across the board. So we had let's see, MSG did bot back Alex near the end there. So the late grinding, we had on Zoom Zone, MSG and Alex had some action there, beating JVC pretty recently. And then MSG finally winning out over Alex. Nighthawk also grinded it a lot a couple hours ago. Fishy today got the worth record by like 0.4. So that was an impressive change to see a couple hours ago. Camel, the top seed of the team, did lose a lot of points to me and Fishy, but made up for by everybody else. Like good placements from MSG and others. What other late action did we have? A little over 12 hours ago, I got a on recent world records. That's the page I want. All right, 13 and 16 hours ago, I got the SS records on Neon District and Vibin. So that's pretty cool for me. JVC successfully distracting Camel with Roof N. Got to, you know, influence the leaderboards in more than one way. You gotta distract your opponents, make sure they don't grind on the league maps. So I guess let's just go into the replays with Zoom Zone. Let me rearrange my monitor a bit so it's easier for me to go through replays and look at chat and other stuff. If you have any replays that you want to suggest be watched, DM them to me on Discord. It's gonna be hard for me to check in chat. Just in the replay, include what level it is. Also, Camel, if you could unhide the leaderboard metadata, that'd be helpful, so I don't have to do too much. Alright, so we're gonna start off with tier 3 SS. Starting, closer to the bottom. So let's see, so Katie ended up getting the record here. A lot of tier 3 players did manage to get into the top 10, because, those are pretty competitive. They can grind on them. Sulcadia, Dev2000, Dozion, Big Diesel, is second out. These are going to be some previews of some strats that we'll see, so let's watch those guys. There are some successful wagers here too. Like, let me change this to full screen. I can have ghosts on now. Hey, look at that, it's a replay that I'm watching. It's so seamless.
Are you meaning to have the week 1 recap part of the screen still in?
Nah. Too many windows to deal with. Obs. I could still have it, but you won't see the timer. Alright, 31. Alright, Dozion did pretty strongly on all of the tier 3 leaderboards. But it had quite a lot of competition too. Had a wager on this one.
Dozion is a really scary player in T3.
Yeah, it's kind of borderline where, you could argue tier 2 would be appropriate. But to be honest, I don't think he's that much better than anybody else. I mean, he didn't even get record on everything.
I'd agree for the most part. I think with enough focused grinding.
Yeah, if you guys help your teammates as much as we help Dozion, then you can do better too.
I mean, as can be seen by Dev2000 here, who's the next person up.
Yeah, so as strong as Dozion is, he's not unbeatable. Alright, a little difference there. Obviously a preview of some good strats to come. Using a light. Two lights.
Going through the middle there is just really awkward.
It sure is. Oh, lost quite a bit there, but we're gonna see a slightly better ending. Oh. How much did that went out by? A few frames, 2 frames. Just that final boost in attack. But Sulcadia with a strong man run. This was Sulcadia's only played level of the week, I think. Had a double wager on it.
I think Sulcadia had another IL listed for Vibin.
Maybe. This was the one they wagered on at
play
least.
It much. Yeah.
Dev2000 also had a double wager on this. So lots of points for our tier 3 players this week. Their leaderboards were worth more than they normally will be. And next week that'll be a little different. Next week we'll see, we'll see the tier 1 players with the big leads on points aside from wagers. What do we want to watch first? Let's skip over to Kid. We have, let's watch Joel's run. Joel actually had a wager here. We'll just see what Kid's like. And then Fishy actually played a lot of Kid levels this time. Kid's got a lot of troublesome corners. All of these big L's. Kid just takes a lot of big L's in this map everywhere. Going underneath. And not getting boost.
It was strangely rough this week in terms of who was on leaderboards.
We really don't have that many Kid players. We're missing out on Cal, and we could use with another Kid main in our lives. It's worth noting that with dust blocks, down attacks don't really help out. So ending with a downlight is how you'd want to get dust, but not dust blocks. So I'm pretty sure I tested it out in the early part of the week, and ending with light and heavy is tied for mana at least. I was gonna check fishies. But obviously with heavy you can start a little earlier, so you don't have to do as many dashes. Alright, attacking that on the way down. We'll see if any characters do anything unique, like attacking certain things through walls. Oh, that's a cool boost.
Oh, that is an interesting boost.
Oh, and then that's also really funny.
Of course.
I didn't actually try a Sharop heavy down dash here. It's a good idea. So we have Worth dominating, so I guess let's check some man-girl times. MSG, Alex, JVC, Nighthawk. All 4 of these except JVC grinded today, so let's see. Nighthawk's is as... yeah. So let's see what Nighthawk ended up with. A little just dust kid every time. We'll just watch kids struggle. Who needs to remove ghosts? Alright, left a little dust there. And that actually, that's actually a factor. That's pretty useful. I wasn't expecting to see that strat. Next we got JVC saving 0.3. Getting a ceiling boost. Spending a long time in the air there. Going through the center. And quite a bit better of a boost there. 1 light, indeed. I'm curious how the ending compares. And this was actually the run that JVC flubbed the ending. So JVC could have, in fact, had a time, believe it or not, better than MSG's. But he did not do 1 light at the end.
Oh my god, MSG.
I forgot that was happening. And he didn't fix it. He had a record until, you know, just the last hour. Alex behind. JVC and Alex on the same team. So, very similar routes.
Surprises me how comparable the boost going under is.
And actually hitting with 1 light. But MSG, the man-girl winner with girl. Not many girl players this week. So doing a boost there and a fair amount behind, but getting a much faster down dash. That's something that neither JVC nor Alex really did anything with, although it's, you know, possible for sure. So on pace with the others. Ooh, kind of drops the boost a little bit at the end, but good enough. How does Worth compare? Well, Dello beat MSG, and Dello got 4th and did a wager on this level. Barely clutching it out. So that's pretty funny. Worth can fall through to that dust block, and we don't really plan for it. So his light just hit nothing. Alright. We'll see how anyone else's times differ. Not as good execution as the players above, but you know, still a comparable route when it comes to execution. Oh, Fresh figuring out very similar strats. Deciding to do the heavy first. Definitely a better boost. Delu's weakness. Fresh landing on that. Okay, that saves a fair amount of time. That's most of the time save. So Fresh with a better execution on the boost and a different heavy up top. But how do you save 0.9 and then another 0.4? Okay, getting a boost there. A little bit ahead. We see the small visual glitch. The light being used to jump earlier. That's pretty cool. And those blocks can be hit with super. Unnecessary dash jump because it's not an ADB. Quality sub 27. But the world record. Planning to get the falling through the dust blocks. Oh, that's even more of an improvement. Very good strats. Did a little mantle there. And looked like a little ECS. I didn't quite catch that. I'll just watch it again. Also getting a landing there and ending with light. Very smooth run. I'll just check that out one more time without ghosts. So everybody at the top of the leaderboard figuring out to not take the boost on the bottom. Alright. Over to any percent. Miles had world record on this pretty early. And then got destroyed by Fishy as Worth. Not yet. What?
I think he was talking about Sanic.
Yeah, we're doing Sanic after any percent. Yeah, this is where it's at. This is where the action is. Miles got destroyed by Fishy's Worth. Was a little dismayed. How could I possibly beat Fishy? You know, put in all this hard effort only for Fishy to change characters and then get bopped by 3 other people that actually counted. So let's watch Miles first. Setting up the boost and getting a second dash after the boost. We'll see what other people do. This was the route that we worked out. Miles is on my team. Tim is also on the same team. So as hard as Miles tried, got etched out by his teammate with the same route. And almost all of it's in the ledge cancel and the boost. But Tim holds back when he doesn't need to. And you're not the only person that came up with Minecraft. I'm sure we'll see a Minecraft gimmick at one point. Skyhawk with second place in 80%. Or as scored anyway. Fishy, the one that didn't count. Okay, does a little ADB there. Technically it is a little bit slower, but he had some good execution. Also he used the dust blocks right there, so that's pretty interesting. Alright, so good execution here. Very similar route stuff. Also figured out the boost. And good execution all around. Showing that the strats are very similar in timing. But how do you save 2 more frames? Alright, Fishy doing the pretty much confirmed slower strat right there. But I didn't time it exactly in that manner. Looking good. Is it time for the action? Is it time for Sanic? I don't know if ghosts are gonna work with Sanic.
Excited.
Alright, so the Sanic leaderboard has been it's been a surprise, to say the least. Let me make sure I reveal these in the right order. In 4th place, we have Avenged Ruler with 29.2, representing Worth.
Yeah, that doesn't surprise me.
So, for the unaware, Sanic speeds up when your combo is higher. It's a very difficult thing to do when you have big combo numbers. Safety super.
Yeah, that section is just really awkward to do.
It sure is.
And get the dust. With how much speed you have there, so I just said I'm not dealing with this.
Yeah, Not Jake was for some time supering in that section too, until he finally got the courage to not do it. So after 4th place,
Yeah.
in 3rd place we have Captain Temp of B Ceilings, also representing Worth. We'll see some more, traditional stuff be worked in. They're just kind of hard to. It's kind of hard to execute.
Yeah, I'll
20
be
former world record. All right.
quite honest. This was a 4-player leaderboard, and it just wasn't my focus this week.
It's fair. You gotta find someone that wants to do the gimmicks.
And we have people that do. You'll see some runs from MSG later. Just this one in particular, we didn't quite have someone for.
All right. In 2nd place, Skyhawk with Girl. At least one person happy in chat. Big speed. Big super. Alright, Skyhawk, the only person to go this way. The only person to ever do that. So it's very good that we left that option in. And also getting the purple flag. How convenient. That's a 26.2. Very stylish ending by Skyhawk. And the winner. This is Not Jake, also playing Girl. And be on Not Jake's team. I know how hard he grinded for this. It was his lifelong achievement. A goal, I guess. Lifelong goal. To one day be in part of DLC 3 and grind this level. for Sanic.
My God, you can actually hit all of that with attacks? That's insane.
Lifelong dream accomplished. I will be manually editing in the Sanic into the leaderboard because it wasn't tracked by Dust Kid easily. So thanks to everybody for sending those PBs over to Maybetta. We have one more replay to watch, at least, unless other people send in more replays from this level. So, once upon a time, there was a Worth world record that I want to turn off ghosts for. Camel claims this is a funny record. Alright, pretty similar stuff. Okay. So here we see some cool action for routing. But unfortunately, none of those ideas were actually faster, even though this held world record at one point. So where would this have been? You know, not as good as Delo. Alright, close these. Alright, on to Neon District. Alright, we'll do the same order, I guess. Alright, Tier 3 SS. This one was won by Dozion. Dozion, J-Dude, Rexy, Phantom Matt with a solid 4th place, and Northgate with a solid 5th place. All in the top half. Northgate and Rexy with some wagers. So let's just scroll down here to Northgate, and we'll breeze through them. Did I pass it? Northgate. Alright, you know, not the fastest runs, but Neon District is a very difficult kind of level. Quite a big spread because of dust spread, funnily enough. Intended, you be the judge.
Yeah, and I guess on that note, I'll explain a little bit. There used to be a lot more dust on this level, and it used to be a lot more viable to super farm. As map production went on, it was never really reassessed whether it was viable or not.
Well, as Northgate just did, it shows that it is viable, but it might be a little slow, maybe. We'll see when we get to the top what people do. I already know my team's routes, though.
Yeah, that's kind of the TLDR of why dust spread wasn't just taken out of this map.
Yeah.
Given the current speed of it, I'd say it probably would have been a better idea. I just hadn't had time to do a lot of testing at the time.
Seen a lot of dust spread from Phantom Matt. Phantom Matt was on my team, and Not Jake has a run that's pretty similar to this one, actually. So Phantom Matt doing his best to copy. Good super at the end. Next is Rexy, representing Worth. Gonna speed up a bit more. Rexy, a neon enthusiast, spreading a lot of dust too. Alright, I like that. Up heavy. You know, not the fastest run, but okay, ending with the quills. So not actually needing super. Big double wager. J-Dude had record here for a while, but got edged out by Dozion at the end. I like the light at the beginning. And we also see a lot of dust spread. Will it be a factor? We see a lot of dust spread. I'm really curious what the fastest dust spread time is. Getting super before even reaching there. So it's viable, but I mean, maybe a little bit less dust needed would have been necessary to not make it feel so slow for some people.
Yeah, just something that wasn't entirely play tested.
Yeah, it's hard to playtest these maps. Alright, Dozion gonna show off some little previews of possible strats to come. Alright, we see that ending. That's pretty cool. I made that ending, smiley face. Very complicated ending for the unaware. So the big challenge at the end is you have this dust all the way over here, but then you have. Let me turn on some stuff. So just to show everybody what's going on at the end that we'll see come into play. If you have show AI on, you can see the porcupine quills. So when you're in that triangle, it aggroes the pork, and when you're in this box, it aggroes the bear. So they like to edge guard you. As soon as you enter this triangle, though, you're gonna create a quill. So either you want to go around it and get this dust and then get the quills, but there's not much time to do all that, or you want to get quills and then get dust and then finish. So we'll see how that all comes into play, I guess, as I remember how to turn all my buttons on. There, I think that's all of them. Alright, I'll save Kid for a surprise finale because, well, Kid did really well on Neon District. Fishy had Kid record here until I got my run last night, and it's just a mystery how it works. So we'll save it. We'll save onto it for a little bit. So we got Duck is in 4th, Camel's in 4th as Worth. How are these leaderboards spread out? 19, 19, pretty even. Fishy's run is as Fishy doesn't have that one. Oh yeah, no, we got however that glitch worked out. All right, so let's check out Duck's run. All right, see some lights. Duck only able to grind on day 1, putting up a really good time quickly. Good way to handle dust spread there. Okay, and deciding to go around. Did aggro the pork at the end. Very challenging final area. Good thing I described how it works. Alright, Wazzy's turn. Also starting with light. Starting with a lot of dust, so same kind of dust spread probably. I mean, there's no real reason to do any of this dust spread unless you're getting super, in my opinion. Okay. Also, for those that don't know, if you heavy a quill, you get 3 dust, compared to if you light it, which is only 1. Alex Speedy. Alex and JVC on the same team, so probably going to be about the same strats from them. Behind a little bit. Beginning. So Duck with a solid beginning. I think. Replay ghosts. Ghost nameplate. That's helpful to remember. And JVC saving even more time. So a little bit slower than Duck at the beginning. Saving quite a bit there. Saving a lot here though. JVC coming up with this ending. We'll give Fishy's run a watch too. This was pretty dominant on the leaderboard for quite a while. A bit of a mess there with everybody's ghosts. Okay, not even using cools at the end. Over to Worth. Camel and Uki's getting a frame tie. Camel claimed to have a lot of issues with this map. With a cool ceiling boost though, and I don't know about that strat. You know, pretty neat. Dodges the quill spawn. Delos Worth run's gonna be a little of a preview of mine, but with some differences. Some lights up there. Same heavy right there onto the ceiling. Taking his time. And an ending that's similar to JVC's and Dozion's. Yeah, imagine routing this map. How do you save 0.8? Okay, cool strats from Fishy there. Okay, so this down heavy is very difficult to hit also. You have to... it's just hard to hit, just trust me. How do you save 1.4? The answer is light attacks. And an adaptation of JVC's ending. I'll turn off ghosts for this one. And then there's actually a funny heavy I want to show. For the bottom right bear as well. So I do a slope jump. And then I dodge the bear's attack by doing a dash left and then 3 lights. Yeah, nameplates do make it kind of hard to see some stuff after all. So let me show you a run that also does some stuff. So this is the same run, but with a key difference here at the bottom. So grounded heavy. This next heavy, you can hit this turkey right here with about a 4-frame window with a side heavy. Yeah, I got that, Nighthawk. Thanks. So, if you wanted to grind for this 4-frame heavy, very fortunately it was the same speed as my light attack strat. But that side heavy is so rough. I almost had to grind that. And then it's the same after that. Yeah, bob cycles are key to that strat specifically. It saves like 0.3 to 0.5 in doing that, and then I discovered that the lights were really fast too somehow. So let's go over to Kid. We have. We'll just watch I Heart Cake and Fishy. Looks like we're gonna get some super farming. You know, good baseline from Kid here by I Heart Cake. Kid, a very difficult kind of character to route things with, but almost got world record on this map. We almost had a Kid map on our hands. And how do you save another 3.5 plus seconds? Oh, same strat there with the dashback lights. Fishy, the light spammer. And ending with attacking the bear. So we've seen an ending kind of like that, but man, that ending is so hard as Kid. Yeah, this was almost world record. We'll do any percent before genocide. Should be pretty quick. Let's just see if other teams did any different stuff. So the beginning is probably going to be similar. Alright, so down heavy, that loses about 0.1. Jumping for this boost. And then waiting for the porcupine quill there. Had to hit the bear once to not get attacked. But if you don't do that, heavy and you do this like what Fishy did, you'll save a bit of time. That's an interesting dash off the wall. Fishy also doing the same ending. Fishy didn't score on this level for any percent though. Now let's see what Camel did. He was complaining a bit. Okay, same opening. Now that's an interesting strat. Alright, and we see Camel dipping down for the ending. Now remember when I said earlier that porcupines aggro a certain way? Well, we're actually aggroing them differently in the faster replays. Okay, Wazi doing this. So dipping down into that cone will aggro the pork earlier. I haven't had ghosts up the whole time, but you'll just have to follow along. They'll just all be on top of each other. JVC with the same kind of route. And JVC on the same team as me. Yeah, Wazi did really well with the last minute camel bop. They tied each other worth the same amount of points, second and third are. But a reminder that frame ties go to the person that got it first. How do you save one more frame, you might be wondering? Answer is with probably a 1 frame better ledge cancel. So, funny thing, I actually got the tiniest ledge clip here sometimes. And that would save no time. No matter what though, you're on the pork cycle at the end, so as soon as you can start it, the better. It appears that top 4 figured out how to aggro it earlier. I gotta go over to Dust Kid to check the genocide runs. Okay, who's on this leaderboard? We have Camel and Fishy. Yeah, sure. So Fishy Camel taking up slots. Callistus with the win and the wager. So Indipop, J-Dude, Miles, Callistus. Looks like Indipop's run is just SS, so we'll skip that. E-Dude, Miles, Callistus were pretty close. So we'll watch J-Dudes first. Now Genocide's an interesting one here because you no longer need to worry about spreading dust, but you still have to hit all the enemies and not get hit yourself. So not the easiest thing, but still pretty interesting. Now obviously J-Dude could improve that, but that's what we got the other two replays for. J-Dude aka Guess. Same kind of beginning. And being very careful at the end. Lost a fair amount of time just at the end though. Was it enough time? Would it have been 0.4? Probably not 0.4. Hard to tell. But Callistus would be slightly better route. Slowing down right there, just standing still for a little bit, taking it in. And then a cleaner ending, but yeah, still gotta wait out the quirk. We also have 2-player on this level. Unfortunately, Uckies and Core Presenta had weird issues that I don't really know what went on with them. But we can't watch their replay. Strange. I don't know what happened. But they got second. Yeah, but they also got last minute box. Let's zoom out and watch this. Borrowing dash macro? That's too bad. Should have thought about that first. Good thing they got second. Yeah, I really enjoy 2-player, and it was a good fit for all the levels this week, so just randomized it. We'll see what these two do differently. We also have one Worth, one Man. Looking pretty similar, except Worth player over here is going up at the top. And we're ending in the top right. So, Worth getting an extra heavy definitely is a big factor. Not having to deal with some extra dust spread. We're very reliant on the Man player to clean up just about everything else though. Oh yeah, Nighthawk had a replay. But let's watch Wazzy's in chat, because that's fewer clicks for me to open. Yeah, that's a strat too. Okay. That's a pretty cool ending. Nighthawk sent me one that would have been 3rd place, but wasn't quite able to get it in time. Alright. Lots of dust spread. impressive. But a fatal flaw. Was that all of them here? Okay. It's time to vibe. Alright, so on vibin'. You know what, let's start off with something different. Let's watch some clunky vibin'. Angerball, the Clunk Master. Not in the league, but ready to defend the Clunk title. Well, the top 4 of this that tried it out, we'll just give them all a good watch. A preview, perhaps, of some strats to come. All of them played as worth. Much more convenient to get certain attacks and to jump at all. Okay. Okay. Now, Clunk went down pretty fast. It was very competitive of a leaderboard. I thought it was gonna be, you know, potentially controversial. Very happy with how competitive Clunk Force was. It could have gone much differently, but it appears that the people that played it really enjoyed it. So, you know, not the worst thing to have as a gimmick after all. Very fun to include. Not Jake. Just like Sanic put his life into it, his heart and soul. Showing a fairly different route, saving quite a bit at the beginning as a result. Ooh. But maybe could have changed the super attacks at the end. What will MSG do? Alright, doing the up heavy like that, and going this way. Ends up about even. Getting a better boost though. And doing these attacks in a different manner was all that mattered. All that mattered at the end. If only Jake figured that out. If only he watched other replays. MSG getting all the Clunk points, but Angerball with the secret Clunk, secret boss world record. Didn't even have a team with whom to strategize. Could only watch his own replays. Does that ending. Not Jake winning a wager though, so got more points. Alright, clunky vibin'. Definitely better than some real vibin'. Oh yeah, you can't watch your own replays actually. I remember now what I have in there. That's your punishment for not being in DLC. Let's start with any percent this time. Let's see who we got. Core Presidenta, Miles, Nemi, and myself. All of them but me putting in wagers. Antihoon ended up tying Core Presidenta, but it's a frame tie. Wazi started off real strong and vibin'. but was not on any percent in the end. Did pretty well in man girl, but got bullied in Worth. All right, let's see if anyone does any different stuff. Wazzy, let's check out where Wazzy's run, just because. Yeah, we'll check out some man runs too, because there's some good ones. Okay. There are actually a few good routes when it comes to this level. Let's actually go a little bit down and see if we get some different routes, because it's a quick level. So, same thing there, just a little slower. I want to try to get a basis for people that didn't quite grind it as much. Let's see what Avenge did. Alright, Avenge going up that way. Losing a little bit of time. Some wall jumps. Skipping Sleuth. Alright, let's unskip Sleuth. Ooh, Sleuth with the extra dashes at the beginning. Actually not faster because Worth needs to walk up to a faster speed. So, fun fact of the level. I'll show that after, but let's just watch them all. This one's fresh, going up top here. Okay, saved a little time from that. I have a feeling this might be the route. Got rid of some slower players. Me and Miles on the same team. Nemi and Camel on the same team. Dash and then jump off the ceiling there. I didn't quite like that one myself. I did what Miles did. But let's see if there are any other differences. Camel not counted on it. Maybe it saves a little time. Maybe. But I have a little trick in my run. Looks like I had a slightly better beginning. And my beginning ended up being... it looked pretty even after that too. So let me show you some cool stuff about how this works. So first you dash, and then you walk. Notice that my speed increases up to 522. Then I jump into the ceiling. This puts me at 537. Big plays. Big plays. And I jump into the ceiling again. Tight beginning. Barely ahead. The perfect dash jump. You already know Worth is getting there on the perfect line. Jumps into the ceiling for the extra 537. Buffering upright jump. I'm jumping as soon as I can. Two quick ones right here. Alright, but the real trick, I do a dash a little bit late. Little ceiling run. And now what I do here, I let go of up and get an ECS. And what this does is give me the tiniest boost like off the ceiling, and probably saves like 2 frames. Maybe a jump late there by about a frame or 2. Not a bad jump. I lost 1 frame on the heavy at the end, it looks like. So, thanks to the extended ceiling slide, I edged it out. how did Kid do on this level? Alright, not as well. Watch some Uckies and Nighthawk Kid replays. Now I guess we'll get all the dust. And Kid's gonna struggle a little bit. This level, you know, it flows okay, I guess. Not the most not the most obvious. That's what I meant to say. Not the most obvious intended kind of route, but you can go pretty much any way you want, and then you always have to double back somewhere, and you're just like, is this even a fast route? I don't know. You'll never know if it's a fast route. You just have to double back all the time. Because you could take this boost at the bottom here, or you could zigzag back and forth up here. Some good ideas over here by Nighthawk. And ending with super. Let's go over to tier 3, won by Dozion. Got some good strats from other players on his team. But grinded it out, very hard grind. J-Dude put in a lot of work here, so did Sloof. Venge had a grind, had a wager here as well. I got 15th overall. Not many people in the 17 to 20 range. That separates the people that grinded and the people that didn't grind as much. You have 2,000 right behind. So let's watch some of these. Okay. Alright, looks like we're gonna attack some stuff through the wall. That's a pretty specific kind of heavy to aim for. Sloof. A big 1 second time save. Much better boost. Looking about the same time-wise, or strat-wise. Doing that heavy earlier now, we'll save a lot of time at the end. Alright, taking his time right there. Like I said earlier, this level was dominated in a kind of impressive fashion by Wazzy very early. So it was kind of on everybody else to try to figure out new strats. Like, how can you possibly save 3 more seconds, 2 more seconds? And that was a challenge not everybody was able to figure out. Alright, extending the ceiling run there. Doing a dash back heavy. Interesting idea. These are very similar strats to what I initially was thinking of. You know, after a certain point anyway. And let's see a preview of Worth to come. It's interesting that just about everybody is going to use just about the same route, it looks like. That it, you know, Wazzy kind of pushed us all to figure it out. Unless there are some big differences to come. That'll be interesting. So let's see man girl first. I think they're all as man. Except for MSGs. Okay, and Wazi's run, he actually got the state one, I'm pretty sure. That's state as record. Okay, so let's watch JVC. Okay, left a little dust there and had to super it at the end. JVC and 52 pickup on the same team. Tim's run is a little bit more recent. Had a fair amount of differences though, but overall the same route. MSG on a different team. Fair amount behind, but save time with the side heavy there. I actually found that the side heavy lost me some time. Might have lost a bit too much on that down heavy. I'm not sure exactly how that compares because I never thought there was going to be a way for it to ever work out in a quick manner. So I never bothered with it. You just have to go so far out of the way. Camel did not score on this, but we'll check it out before Wazi's. Able to get 2 dashes off. Also doing the much later down heavy. Oh yeah, I actually had a replay that I sent Tim. That was a 15-6 with a different ending. But who cares about that? We're all here for Wazi strats. I'll turn off ghosts. Alright, getting that with a light. Oh, very similar ending actually. Very clean. After seeing all these man-girl replays, I'm starting to think that Worth's going to be very similar, after all. But, maybe not. We have the top 4, all the sub-15s. Did anyone send me any other replays? By the way, on this one. So let's watch Nighthawks. Nighthawks on a different team from the rest of these. Was. Alright, so let's watch Nighthawks. Actually, we'll watch Wazi's too. They're only 15 seconds. But Camel and Fresh are on the same team, and me and Tim are on the same team. Wazi and Uckies are on the same team. Alright, saving a bit at the beginning. good attacks. A little bit behind Nighthawk at the beginning. Better wall jumps. And some fast attacks at the end. Alright, Abby there. Okay. What could be different? Turn off ghosts for me and Camel. Just comparing the two of us. I'm not that surprised to see how similar it is. But there's a fatal flaw in the Camel's run. So I suspect his is a little bit better executed because I have a different strat at the end that Camel claims to think is the entire reason. Turns out it was just the beginning. And then I flipped it there. Oh, but what's this? That's a pretty hard strat, if you're curious. It's actually not that hard. It's just the trick to this. So I get a dash near the end, heavy, this dust. I'm still rising, so I don't have to worry about jumps, but I have no more jump, which will lose me time after the fact. It's just that I get up here so much faster. I'm also not wall climbing immediately because I need all this height. Because I don't have a jump, and I need all this dust. And I need to fast fall and get some more dust. Because I skipped this dust that I get with super. So I didn't know if anyone was gonna figure that out, but hey, that's pretty cool that I did. The thing that's hard about it is the getting enough height, ultimately. Alright. One more level. This is also the level with the tasks, which I guess I'm saving for the absolute final. You know, we'll keep up a similar order. I guess we'll do the plugin. We'll do any percent and then the plugin on the council. That's the one. Alright, so we have me, Soph, Core Presidenta, Nemi in top 4. Anti-Hoon, Maddie, Temp. Wait, Arb has a Vibin test? Oh, yeah. Sorry, I don't always have chat up because I don't have enough space on screen and I have all these other things. Alright, so what's over here? You still have my run and camels. Jumping to the ceiling's pretty cool. I'm curious how the ending compares. Very fast. You know, pretty close to what humans are doing, considering the, you know, humanness, humanity, the humanity. The RTA viability. So I think this is going to be a pretty straightforward one. Probably the easiest one to figure out, except for the ending. Will we see differences in the end? Okay, so that's quite a bit different too, but only 3 frames faster. We'll just see what other strats happened. Better boosts. Same strats here. Better execution. MSG and Nemi on the same team. So is Soph actually. So probably the same thing that we'll see. Better boost yet again. Yep. Especially with a worse boost. Okay, fishy with some lights at the end. All these worths in different spots for the final attacks. I do a little bit different of an ending, but not by much. I also get a different kind of ceiling boost at the beginning. So, for those curious, because I can pretty quickly show it off. If you didn't know, you can get a ceiling boost off this. I actually don't in my PB, so that's unfortunate. You need a good enough angle. I didn't have it. I got a really good jump off this, but then I dodged the quills. I went to the right with lights. That's all there was to it. Not the most elaborate level. But let's try something weirder. The Pogo plugin was the gimmick of the week for this level. As you can see, it lets you bounce around. We have Matter Monkey. So there is a little bit of weirdness when it comes to using dashes off the ground. You stay in your dash state and don't have gravity for a bit. We'll see if that quirk to Pogo is used by other players. We'll just watch a few more for fun. So how Pogo works is based on the speed at which you collide with the ground. You go higher up. Also, if you're holding jump, you go higher than if you weren't holding jump. You spend exactly 2 frames on the ground. Or on the 2nd frame, I think you're forced to leave it. That's how it works. Also have a man run. With a cool boost that's not even good enough to compete with the top level. Top Pogo players have discovered other strats. Okay, that's the any percent ending right there. And landing on the tile. Okay, that's quite the ending. Saving a little time at the beginning. Mantles sure look funny. bouncing around at the end. What a nice gimmick. Where did Pogo come from? It's a relatively old plugin. I made it a couple years back, at least. There are a bunch of weird plugins that might get some featured gimmicks during DLC 3 that aren't otherwise really talked about. But you can try Pogo on other levels like Ascent if you want. Go right ahead and try it out. If you go to the Dustkid page, you see a link to plugins on the left bar on the main page. Yeah, Fast Pogo. Fast Pogo is actually really funny. I like Fast Pogo infinite air charges and like dash macro. Those, any combination of those, like pick 3 of 4 and you have a crazy weird situation. We can only actually combine, or we can't actually combine any because you don't get a legitimate leaderboard. But well, we'll just use one at a time for the league. Okay, so did any percent in Pogo? I guess. How are Kid players looking on this level? Oh right, so Kid was the bonus, so it was worth a little bit more. And we'll check this one out first. So we'll just watch all 4 of the Kid players. So this was this was also the level that was tasked. So maybe some strats that we eventually see are gonna be found in some players' tasks, but not all of them. Kid not really gonna be used for tasks though, pretty sure. I have a feeling we all used Worth. But showing what the level's like for Kid. How difficult it can be. Have to dodge quills from that porcupine at the end. So Camel edging out Fishy here. Oh, not just edging. And a lot of lights at the end. Camel's Kid Run would be in the top 10. So would Fishy's Run. A little bit better beginning. I like those that way of climbing. Impressive. Camel successfully bullying JVC away from playing this level, for what it's worth. He told JVC, "There's no way you could possibly compete with me and Fishy. You should just give up." And I guess it worked. You know, Camel beat Fishy on something this week. So over to tier 3, let's see what happens. Dozion Avenged, Dev 2000, Big Diesel, Lightning E with 5th. 18th. Haven't seen a Lightning replay. Some good ideas to be had. Definitely we'll be seeing some of these strats. That looks like a difficult heavy to hit. Good way of handling the quills at the end. Dev 2000s next, into the 17s. Yeah, it's a lot easier to tell when you have ghosts on. But no ghosts during the league because, well, it just doesn't work with replays quite the same, unfortunately. Not the fastest ending, could have sped up the light attacks, but still very solid. Avenged a little bit faster. That looks almost exactly like my first ideas for the route. And splitting the difference on the ending. Dozion though, I grinded this one pretty hard. Okay. So those are very similar strats to what I did in my run. I wasn't on this leaderboard, but that's pretty much what I do. You know, minor differences. Yeah, lots of lights at the end. That's kind of level it is. So let's go to Man, Girl, then Worth and Task to finish it up. I don't want to take too much credit. When you get to the task, then you'll see how much credit I really deserve. Okay, so we have Indipop 4th here, JVC, Uckies, Cam, all of them as man. And Sofa was just behind, but not on the leaderboard. Doing some jumps. That section's definitely a lot harder for Man to deal with. Okay, wall climbing over and doing a heavy. Pretty fast along the bottom, but I don't know how the heavy really compares. JVC also not able to keep up with some worths. Okay. JVC, I remember during the middle of the week, I came up with a funny strat that we'll see if anyone does. So it saves a fair amount of time for the ending. A little bit faster there. I like that difference. Grabbing the wall. Alright, we're using quills now. That quill goes all the way to the top right. We've finally gotten to see the bottom quill be used. Definitely the way Miles intended. We'll see if that also happens again. Not from Camel at least. But there is quite a difference between using the bottom quill or the top quill for the top right porcupine. And not enough for it to matter for Uckies at least. So Dozion grinded this one so well, he made it into 4th on Worth here too. But Callistus with... So Fish was unfortunately not on this one. But did the task. We'll see a very good run from that later. But this is actually the one that doesn't... Oh, that's not the right one. Okay. Camel ready with the link that I already got around. Alright, closest on the same team as Neon Enthusiasts. So, with MSG, Camel, and the others. Definitely a gamer. MSG has a dash jump in the corner. Oh, that's a good ending. I'll save Fish's run for just the task, I guess. But Fishy and Fish on the same team. We'll probably see a bit of a preview of some task strats now. There's the first one. Doing a heavy all the way from the bottom. That's something that I don't know if all the taskers discovered or not. I actually didn't. So that is quite a cool idea to figure that out. See it one more time. I'm not sure how much it saves. Because the thing is, it costs a lot of time to get to the bottom again. And as you'll see with the task, like, you obviously save a lot of time by being able to jump immediately there, but it affects the ending as well. We'll see if anyone else does it. We'll see who does it. I didn't notice it at all. So, Fishy with the world record. Now we just have tasks left to do on this level. So over to the task leaderboard. Let me... Okay. So in 4th place, myself. Admittedly, I didn't actually spend as much time doing this as I could have. Let me start this a little differently. I don't know if ghosts are gonna work, but I'll leave them on for now. So, I personally hated the beginning of this level. Doing a boost and an RLJ, getting a lot more height for this heavy. I used a quill at the bottom, and I have a very funny light that I want to show you. Now, there's a lot of depth going on here. I'll explain mine a bit because I actually did this one. So, get a little boost on the bottom. You can already see the ghost desyncs. Disregard everything there. This stuff's all kind of fast. You know, do a little RLJ. Gotta straighten out a little bit to get that ceiling dust. Do the earliest possible jump here. That gives you a much better boost there. Now, when you reach right here, this is when you aggro the pork. This is the bottom of the slope. You get the triangle. So I landed as early as possible in order to aggro it as early as possible. And then I have to wait for the quill to come out. I actually only waited 1 frame. I did a heavy. I could have done a light, saved 1 frame. By doing this light on those quills, so you'll see that they eventually get this prism and the top right pork. You know, it saves time in the long run, but let's go back here. Zoom. So let's turn this off. So I still have my air charge after all this stuff. Now what's crazy? So let me set the save state here, I guess. Wowie 3-4. Yeah, I've used these tools quite a bit. So if I just wall climb like normal and do all this, I aggro the porcupine, and then it shoots a quill into my quill, and I'm just like, this is the worst thing ever. So this quill ends up blocking the other quill from hitting the porcupine, and there goes like all of my time save of doing a light at the end. It's awful. It was not worth it at all to even bother doing a quill. But I decided, you know what, I might as well just wrap up this ending, you know, just ship it. It's good enough. We'll see what happens. So what I need to do is I need to wait a certain number of frames. So let's use a little time dilation with a useless light and wait 4 frames. So I've already spent 5 frames, 1 waiting for the quill to come out, 4 waiting for this, trying to dodge the pork aggro timer. That'll make it so this quill barely avoids this. Now, even worse, on top of all this, you can hit all 3 of these enemies with 1 light or 1 heavy, but you have this quill blocking you, so you can't even hit these 3 together without either of the quills being dodged. They're just placed in a certain way so that it's very hard to maneuver around. So with these challenges in mind, you know, I had to spend, you know, let's say 0.1 or so hitting this quill, maybe a little bit more, and then I hit this a heavy prism and the pork. It would have only cost me like, let's say 12 or so frames to get the light out. I really don't remember the numbers. And in the end, it probably comes out to like I could have just done a heavy here instead of a light and then ended. So I mean, if you do a little bit of math, I probably saved like 2 frames by all this stupid waiting around. But hey, at least I did the route. And this is what I got. So 14.65, saving a second off of Fishy. But I mean, this was the slowest test. And this is the one that I can explain more, because I did it. Let me just double check so that I don't get it in the wrong order. Who is next? Okay, with a time of 14.6, we have fresh. I'll save this one at the beginning. Fresh, figuring out the heavy at the beginning too. Some pretty similar looking stuff. And doing that light at the end. So I'm curious how well it compared, because so I in my replay I landed here sure with a lot less speed. So I think not the easiest thing. So I guess I'll compare here. I will have more speed on this landing, but that's at 253. I do my jump from there then. So with a much bigger boost, I land here about 0.2 faster, and I jump from here to 97. So I don't know what save state I was using, but let's go back to Fresh's run. He's there at 757. So I'm a little bit ahead here, jumping off the edge here at 311. So all that time, it ends up being compared very closely at the end. This all looks very similar. I climbed a little bit differently. Not sure how that compares. But we can do all the math out if anyone, any taskers really want to compare them. You know, now we can combine all our replays and get the perfect tasks made within a week anyway. So next. Saving 4 frames at the big minus 4F. We have Arv with the AS referencing, you know, a loved but very somber experience, the AS on Yada. So starting off very similar to my run, but differing a bit. Similar climbs, we got a dust spread, and we see some quills too at the end. He actually hit one quill into another quill, so that's pretty funny. So doing a jump and a light's a pretty cool idea here. That probably saves an interesting amount of time. Actually, I remember what it was that saved time. So what would also save time that prevented things from being blocked is if you go a lot faster up to the top, the porcupine's gonna, by comparison, shoot the quill out at a different time. So if you have it much earlier or much later, you're gonna dodge the quills. So it may not have mattered. We see some similar jumps up here. But we do see 2 quills going up, and that bottom one is gonna have a blocker. And the quill, in fact, finishes off the level at the end. So, brought down a little bit by how slow the quill is. Yeah, bodyguard quill coming in hot. Secret Service quill. And finally, we have the fastest task. Saving a little bit more. So this was at a time of, I guess it's a, I'll let it play.
Oh.
So, getting it from the bottom. Alright, able to get a light heavy to work there. That's pretty cool. And a similar ending. Very fast stuff. At a time of minus 11F. 18 frames faster than the slowest task. A difference of 0.3. I'm curious how some of the differences compared. There are, there's a sizable amount of them. We got like ceiling boosts and all kinds of other little stuff that, it's probably like a plus or minus 1 or 2 everywhere. Very cool to see a lot of those differences. I'm pretty happy that we finally have a little task competition to do. What a cool idea I had. But I need to step up my task game and not play as much. Gotta take tasking more seriously. Next week, I'm sure we'll have a cooler level than even this. Actually, I don't know. Hey, and Amber was around after all. Yeah, it was really cool to see all the differences here. Definitely want to do this more often. We can do it 3 more times. Oh yeah, raise your hand if you read the lore. There's some secret lore hidden in this level, if you look hard enough. At the very least, this does conclude the week. Let me send you guys a special link. So you know how other weeks we have recap, or not recap, but we have little vote on map stuff. Well, here's a link that you can vote on map stuff yet again. The results of which, sure, they're not in the recap this time, but sure, the Apple SS. Did you do that? Oh, there is something up here. What will this guy say? You'll have to read the story yourself, because I'm not reading this aloud for you. Alright, let me go to another tab real quick. Okay, you guys ready to go to the next page? Yeah, this is Lore Twinkie, inspired by you, obviously, as you can tell. Alright, we have one Apple SS that gets both of the apples. Alright, page 2. Page 3, I guess. Keep reading. Dustforce DXX update. It's extra deluxe. Deluxe extreme. Alright, next page. That's the full story. Do you need to repeat it, anyone? You sure? Alright, it's quiz time. Now Jake, ask your questions here in chat, and we'll see who can answer correctly. Just kidding. Unless he does type a quiz. He didn't expect this to be, quizzed on in chat. What the heck is the Dust Force League? Well, let me tell you a little bit about the Dust Force League. Also, fill out this form, please. Vote on your favorite maps and gimmicks of the week, and also your favorite aesthetic of the week. Fill it out. Do the right thing. You will fill it out. And here is the final replay to watch. It's an Apple SS. That's right. There's more lore and credits. I hope you read that in time. Alright guys, what did he have to unbind in order to type everything? The frame advance broke the music, unfortunately. One more apple to go. Not forgetting it. Skyhawk only found one of the apples. But Anubis may or may not have known about the second one. Or at least found it. Has it been bopped already? No. Alright, there it is. Apple King. The only Apple SS of DLC this week. Apple Champion of the League so far. Alright, fill out that form again. Remember those custom league times by Maybetta? The results will be posted in the custom league time, so look out for that. Fill out the form. I'm gonna sum up a little stuff, but hey, let's check out the final leaderboard again. Yeah, I don't know what you're talking about, Ukkies. Is there a problem with that? So, Neon Enthusiast with a marginal lead, 14 points, 13 of which came from bonuses like wagers. You see, you know, a 20 to 30 point difference between some of the teams' wagering prowess. It's supposed to be intentionally, you know, worth quite a bit, so make good use of them. But we do see some dominant behaviors from Neon Enthusiasts and Custom Custodians. Some grinders and some not as grinders. Alright, what are we gonna do now? Are there any streamers out there? Are you ready for week 2? Week 2 maps will be released in 2 days. On Tuesday. So, take your 2-day break. Get back to us on that day. Go watch some replays. Go strategize with your teams. What could I have done differently this week?